Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. And it's take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's puzzle is called Pick Up Sticks Green by Marty Sears, and here are the rules. We have normal Sudoku rules apply, which means place a single digit in every cell in this grid such that there are place a single digit from 1 through 9 in every cell in this grid such that there are no repeats in any row, column, or designated 9-cell region, which is a box. We have adjacent digits along a line must have a difference of at least 5, and these are German whisper lines. So, for example, if this were a 3, this would have to be an 8 or a 9, because the only digits which are 5 or more away from 3 are 8 and 9. And that's an example of how German whisper lines work. Also, a stick always has a lower total, that is the sum of its digits, than any stick which lies on top of it. So basically, this stick must be smaller than this stick, which must be smaller than this stick, right? Because this stick is on top of this stick, which is on top of that stick. So that's an example of how sticks work. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. So one thing that's interesting about these German whisper lines is that they'll always be between low digits and high digits on the German whisper line, right? So it always must vary between a low digit and a high digit on the German whisper line. And because of that, you'll always go low, high, low, high, low, high, because what digits can be next to a 1 through 4, which is a low digit on a German whisper line? 1 can be next to 6 through 9, 2 can be next to 7, 8, or 9, 3 can be next to 8 and 9, and 4 can only be next to 9. So next to a 1 through 4, you're guaranteed to have a digit from 6 through 9. Same with a digit from 6 through 9. What digits can be next to those? 9 can be next to 1 through 4, 8 can be next to 1 through 3, 7 can be next to 1 and 2, and 6 can only be next to 1. So next to a 6 through 9 digit, you're always guaranteed to have a 1 through 4 digit. So these will always alternate between low and high digits. The question is, can these ever be 3 lows and 2 highs? And my guess is the answer would be no. If you had 3 lows here and 2 highs, the maximum for those would be 4, 9, 4, 9, and 4, right? That would mean you have 4, 9, 4, 9, 4. That would be 13 times 2, which is 26, plus 4, which is 30. So the value of that line would be 30 if these 3 digits were low. What's the minimum value for this line? This line is beneath this line here, so it must have a total less than this total. So it has to be 29 at most. Well, just if you are guaranteed to have 4 high digits here. 4 high digits by themselves. And the thing is, 2 of them could not be the same as each other. So it would be guaranteed to have, and 6 could not be in between 2 unique digits. So you're guaranteed this is a 7, at least. This is a 7, and this is 6 or 7 here. That's the minimum possible. So 7 plus 6 and 7. That's 14 plus another 13 is 27 already. And then you have 5 low digits, which is obviously at minimum 5 ones. So that's 32. So no, this cannot be low, high, low, high, low. This has to be high, low, high, low, high. So these are high. This is a low. this is a high, this is a low, and this is a high. Can this ever be 5 highs here and 4 lows to be less than these 3 highs and 2 lows? Well, this could be 9, 9, and 9 at maximum, plus 4 and 4. That's, again, 26 plus 9 this time, which would be 35. If you had 5 highs here, this has to be 7 because it's next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line. You could have 7 with 6, 7, and 6, 7. 6, 7 plus 6, 7 is 26. Plus 7 is 33. And then you have 4 other low digits, which is obviously minimum 1, 1, 1, 1. That's 37, but that's greater than the sum of the maximum here, right? Which would be 9, 4, 9, 4, 9. 13 plus 13, 26 plus 9 is 35. This is at minimum 37 if this starts off as a high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. So therefore, this must be low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, and low. What's the minimum for this line then? The minimum for this line is 1, 2, because this is a 1, this can be only 1, 2 at most. This must then be 7. So 1, 2 pair plus 7, that's 10. 1, 2 pair plus 7, that's also 10. So that's 20 plus minimum 6, 7, and 1. So 20 plus 6, 7, and 1 is 34. And that's the minimum value. The maximum of this line is 35. So you're guaranteed this has to be the minimum because it must be less than this digit. This is 35. Therefore, this is 34 at maximum, and that's the minimum value. Therefore, we know this is not 6, 7. This is 1, 2. This is 1, 2. This must be 7. And this is 1, 2. This is 1, 2, and this is 7. That makes this 6, 7, and 6, 7 next to a 1. And this must be 9, 4, 9, 4, 9, right? So this long line is less than this one. And we guarantee it by basically forcing this to be the minimum and forcing this to be the maximum. So again, 9 plus 4 times 2 is 26, plus 9 is 35, 1 plus 2 plus 7 is 10, times 2 is 20, plus 1, 6, and 7, which is 14, is 34. So this is a low, this must be high. The only other high left in box 5 is an 8, so this must be 8. And this is low, so it must be 1, 2, or 3 here. I can't tell which one's higher. So 1, 8, and this digit is higher. This must be a low digit. This must be a low digit to be next to a high digit. This is an 8. So these two digits must be less than these two. So this is 2 or 3. This is an 8. We know this is 2, 3, or 4. We know in column, actually in box 5, we have 5 high digits, so the rest of the box cannot be high. We also know in column 5, one of these two digits must be low because one of them is a low digit and the other one is the other set, which is high, right? Or it's vice versa. If one is high, the other one has to be low. So one of these is low. That means the low cannot be in the rest of column 5. Well, high can't be in the rest in this cell because we have 4 highs in box 5. Low can't be in this cell because we have 4 lows in column 5. Therefore, this must be a 5 then. This must be a 2, 3 pair. These are both low. That leaves the rest of column 5 to be high digits. This cannot be 9. It's 6, 7, or 8. 9 has to be one of these two. One of these is low, one of these is high. We're not sure which. So 2 of these are low and 2 of these are high. That means we have 4 highs in box 2. So the rest must be low or a 5. Well, 5 actually has to be guaranteed to be one of these 3 because 5 cannot be any of these, can't be either of these. So 5 is guaranteed to be here. 5 then must be one of these in, excuse me, column 6. So 9 is one of these two. This cannot be 7. It's 6, 8, or 9. One of these two digits must be 3 or 4. So the low has to be 3 or 4. That means the high digit must be 8 or 9. So this is a 3, 4, 8, 9. It can't be 4. This has to be 3 here. This is the smaller one, though. So the low here has to be a 3. It's either 3, 8 or 3, 9. Say this was an 8. If this was 8, that would mean this is a low. But that low has to be greater than this 3, which is not possible because it would be 3 and 8. So this can never be 8. This could be 3 or 9 here. If this is 3, this would have to be 8, and this would have to be 9 to make it bigger. But this can never be 9. So this can't even be 3 either. Right? It can't be 3, 8, and 8 because then those would be the same totals. And that's not allowed by pick up sticks rules. So this can't be 3. This has to be a 9, which makes this 3. This has to be 4 with that 9 to add up to 13, which is greater than 12. Therefore, this can't be 9 here. Therefore, where's the 9 in column 5? It must be here. This is 4. This must be a low here. So this is a low. That means the rest of column 6 has to be a high or 5. This is a high. This cannot be 2 lows here, because if it's 2 lows, that's 5, and they both are next to this digit here. So they are the same set. So if this is low, this becomes high, this becomes low, and that's 5 lows in column 7, which is not allowed. So these must be high, which forces this to be a low, which makes these high, which forces this to be low. Okay. 9 cannot be either of these. So this can't be 4. Well, it couldn't be 4 anyways. This is 1, 2, or 3. Next is 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, and 6, 7, 8. These two digits here must be greater than these two digits here. Okay, this is 1, 2, or 3. So these two are larger than these two. That doesn't tell us very much. We have a 1, 2, 3 triplet. in row 7. That means there cannot be a 1, 2, 3 in the rest of the row. One of these two digits must be a low. Cannot be 1, 2, 3. It has to be 4. So this must be 4, 9. This 4, 9 pair is larger than this. So either 4, if this is 4, that would guarantee this is 9, and these two would be the same. So this can't be 4. This is 9, then this is 4. This has to be less than 9, so it's a low, and it's 1, 2, or 3. And I think this is less than 9, right? Because it's... Oops. I need to clear the number so I can see. Yeah, this stick is greater than this one. So this must be less than 9. So these are high. This is a low, which means the rest of row 7 has to be 5 or low. This can't be 5, so this must be a high. And it has to be 6 or 7 here. Well, 7 cannot be either of these. This could be 5, 6, 7, or 8, but no 7. Therefore, this one of these two is a 7, so this cannot be 7 here. We also know this cannot have 5, so these must be 2 lows here. So it's 1, 2, and 3 here. And this can't be 3 here because of the 3 in the row. We have 6 or 7 here. This is 6 or 7 here. This is 1, 2, or 3. This must be 6 or 7 because it cannot be 8. And 9, if this is 9, this is the same sum as this. So this is 1, 2, 3. It has to be less than 4. Okay, we have 1 of 2 or 3 here. Yeesh. If this were 2, that would force this to be 1, which would force this to be 3, which would force this to be 2, and this sum of this cell would be 2, 8, and 2, which is 12. And the sum of here would be 3, 8, and 1, which is also 12. That's not allowed because, again, these two digits must be greater than these two digits. So this can never be 2. This is 3 or 4. This can't be 4 because it's next to an 8, so this must be 3. This cannot be 3. Well, we now have in row, because of the 3 in the column, we now have in row 7 a 1, 2, 1, 2 pair, which eliminates 1 and 2 in the rest of the row. So this must be a 3. That means this can't be 3. This is a 1, 2 pair, which eliminates 1 and 2 in the rest of the column. This can't be 1 or 2. This becomes a 3, 4, 5 triplet, which eliminates 3, 4, and 5 in the rest of the box. 2 has to be one of these two digits here. 1 has to be one of these two digits here. And then we have 6, 7, 8 in the rest of the column. This is 2, so it cannot be next to a 6. So one of these is 7 or 8. This can't be 7, though. This stick is greater than this stick. 6 can never be next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line. So, and it would be here. So this can't be 6. This can't be 7 because of the 7 in the row. Therefore, this high digit must be an 8. Since it's an 8 here, it cannot have an 8 in the rest of the box. This can't be 8, this can't be 8, that can't be 8. If this were 2 and 7, this would guarantee to this to be 2 and 8. And 2 and 8 would be greater than 2 and 7, which is not allowed, because so this cannot be 2. Which makes this 2, this 8, this 1. This can't be 1. This 8 eliminates 8 in the rest of the column. So this is 6, this is 7, that's 6. So now 2 and 8 must be greater than 8 and 1, which is greater than 1 and 6. So that all fits. This 2 eliminates 2 here, so this is 1, which makes this 2. This 1 eliminates 1 here, so this is 2, which makes this not 2. So this is 1. That 1 eliminates 1 here, so this is 2. Either of these can still be 6. We don't know which. And we have 3, 8, and 3 greater than 2, 8, and 1, which is allowed. This 6 eliminates 6 here, so this is 7, which makes this 6 and this a 7. This 7 eliminates 7 here, so that's 6, which forces this to be a 1, to be next to it on a German whisper line. This cannot be 1 because of the 1 in the row. This can't be 3 because of the 3 in the row, so this is 2, this is 3. This can no longer be 3 then. Where is 2 in column 7? 2 cannot be here because of the 2 in the row. 2 can't be any of the high digits. It can't be any of the filled in digits, so it must be one of these 2 digits here. Therefore, since the 2 in column 7 has to be one of these 2 digits in box 6, none of the rest of box 6 can have a 2. So this has to be 1 then. So this is 1. I think that's not all the ones. In box 3, where's the 1? Can't be any of these rows, can't be any of these columns, so it must be here. So this is a 1 and is a low. We have how many 1s? It should be like, so these are low. These are high. We should have 8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we have 9. This 2 eliminates 2 here, so that's 1, which makes that 2. We now have 8. So that means we know where the last 1 has to be. It has to be here. So this is a 1, and it's a low, obviously. We should have a decent amount of 2s also. In box 4, 2 cannot be here, or here, or here. So this must be a 2, which makes that low. That means this can no longer be 2 here, so this must be 2 here. We should have 8 2s now. We do. We know where the last 2 has to be. It has to be here. So that's 2. 2 cannot be next to 6, so this can't be 6 here. These 3 digits must be less than these 3. This can't be 6 or 7. This can't be 6. So we have a 5, 8 pair here. All the 2s are done. The 3s are not. But where is the 3 in box 7? Can't be here because of the 3 in the column. Can't be here because of the 3 in the row, so it must be here. So this is 3. Therefore 3 in box 1 has to be one of those 2. The 3 in box 3 cannot be here, so it must be one of these 2. We know in box 1 the 3 has to be in rows 2 and 3, and in box 3 the 3 has to be in rows 2 and 3. So that eliminates 3 from the rest of rows 2 and 3. Therefore this can't be 3. This is a 5. This can't be 3 or 5, so it's 4, which makes that a 3. The 4 is a low, the 3 is a low. Remaining digits in row 1. We have 4, 5, and 8. This can't be 4. So this must be 5 or 8. This must then be 4, 5, and 8. Rest of row 2 is 3, 6, 9. This can't be 9, so this is 3 or 6. This must be 3, 6, or 9, but cannot be 3 or 6, so this is a 9. That makes this a 3, 6 possibility. Rest of column 7 is 5, 6, 7, 8. But this can't be 6. So one of these 2 is a 6. If this is 6, that guarantees that this is at most 1, 6, and 8. 1, 6, 8 adds up to 15. This is then at minimum 1, 7, and 7. That also adds up to 15, and that's not allowed because this digit must be greater, this stick must be greater sum than this stick. So this can never be 6, which forces this to be a 6. So this can't be 6 here. If this were 8, that would force this to be 7 and 7, and these sticks would then also still add up to the same in the sum. 168 adds up to 15, 177 adds up to 15. Therefore, this can't be 7. Sorry, this can't be 8. This must be 7, which forces both of these to be 8. This 8 eliminates 8 here, so it's 5. This 5 and 8 eliminate 5 and 8 here, so it's 7. So we have 818, which is 17, which is greater than 167. That works. This cannot be 8 here because of the 8 in the column. Where is the 8 in row 8? Cannot be here. It must be here. That forces this to be a 5. This can't be 5 anymore, so it's 6. This can't be 5 or 6, so this is 8, which eliminates 8 here, so this is 5. This is 8, and the rest we're probably just doing normal Sudoku. So this has to be a 4. This 6 eliminates 6 here, so this is 3, which makes this a 6. 3 eliminates 3 here, so this is 6, and that must be a 3. This has to be a 5. Neither of these can be 5. This 8 eliminates 8 here, so this is 4. This is 8. Column 9 has to have a 4 and a 9 remaining. And this can't be 4 because of the 4 in the row. So this is 9. This is 4. Column 8 has to have a 3 and a 5 remaining. This can't be 5 because of the 5 in the row. So this is 3. This is 5. Row 4 has to have 5 and 8 remaining. This can't be 8 because of the 8 in the column. So this is 5. This is 8. We are left with 4 and 7 in row 5. This can't be 7, so this must be 4, which makes that 7. That leaves this as a 9. That leaves this as a 5, this as a 6, and this as a 7. And that's how you solve it. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Interesting use of the restrictions for the lows and highs. Yeah. But that's actually what all these stick puzzles that Marty Sears has created all essentially involve, right? If you didn't have that, it would make things pretty hairy, I guess. If you didn't have pretty strict restrictions for these sticks on sticks. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.